Hello everybody, my name is Jim Garcia and I'm your new Executive Director here at ACNM. And I just want to say thank you all for joining us today. I know it's unusual, the circumstances that we're doing our meeting on, our annual meeting, but we're doing it. Normally today we would be scheduling our annual meeting. We would have gotten together, we would have voted for our new officers. The meeting directly after this would have been our Board of Directors meeting where we would hand over the new board members and assign them in. And then we would go on with a party that we would have at night. Well, that's not going to happen. We all know that. So let's talk about what is going to happen. What is going to happen is that we're going to have a really good year in 2021. We're going to need to come out of this. We're going to need to have some good, strict guidelines. We know that the first quarter is going to be probably a little difficult, but we're ready for it. We are grateful that we are a business that is allowed to stay open, that we're an essential business and our industry is going strong. Our training is going strong, although limited. We still have a lot of things that we're doing. Before I get started with more of my message, I really want to say thank you, a big thank you to President Patrick Shaw. Thank you very much for your leadership in 2020. It's been great. It's been wonderful to work with you. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate all the things that you have brought to this and to me. I've been here 6 months now. You've been very accessible to me and you've helped me out in a big way. I also want to say thank you to Mr. Mike Beck. Mike Beck was here for 9 years. Mike is going to leave a legacy that is going to last well beyond the years of ACNM. It's going to be an earmark in the history of ACNM. In fact, when I was getting ready for this little event, I went back and I took out our ledgers, and these are the original ledgers. This is the first one, Volume 1. The first letter in here is dated July 29th, 1933. And it's a great story. It's a story about kindness, partnership, the ability for people to get together for the right reason. So 86 years ago, this team got together and decided that they were going to help an industry out, that they were going to combine their efforts with the civil engineering department with the state of New Mexico, and they were going to look out for the best interest of building better New Mexico highways, bridges, dams, and culverts. And surely to this day, it's been a landmark. So I want to say thank you to Patrick Shaw for your leadership this past year. Mr. Mike Beck, thank you. Good luck in your retirement. We're looking forward to still hanging out, playing some golf with you. And it's been a great run, so I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank the Board of Directors that was very diligent this last year. Pretty much made every single meeting, and every one of you guys have been very available to me. So I really do appreciate that a lot. So I also want to talk a little bit about our partnerships, and we've had some great partnerships. Nothing stronger and longer lasting than our relationship with the NMDOT. Secretary Mike Sandoval, really want to say thank you, Mike, for your leadership, for your honesty, and for being able to assist not only the contractors, not only all the people that work in the industry, but me and my staff. You've been very kind to us. The quarterly meetings that you all have set up with us have been very instrumental in letting us have the ability to get ready for the legislative session that's coming up, and get ready for 2021. So what do we have for you for 2021? We have everything going right now. Our training programs, as you will hear from Mr. Fields, our incoming president, is in really good position right now. We have some really nice training schedules and classes that are going to be, we're scheduled all the way through August with a lot of our training classes. I think the only thing that's going to inhibit us or hold us back in any way is going to be the restrictions that we have from the state or the federal government on what we can do. But as far as compliance go, nothing has been better than the ACNM staff. Kudos to my staff. I just want to say thank you to Aloyda. She's our Director of First Impressions, the first person that you see when you come into our organization. Good luck if you can get in. We put doors, buzzers, cameras. We made it hard for people to get in. So thank you to Aloyda. Chris is relatively new. She started just before me in financial administration. She has been just a wealth of information and just great for the team here at ACNM. Brian Legan. Brian is a legend in the training industry. He has deep background in DOT, very, very helpful. Johnny on the spot. He's painting walls. He's helping me clean up the yards. Brian has just been a great friend to a lot of us here, but his training, his background, his skills have just been amazing. So I just want to say thank you to Brian. Ariel Langford, our marketing director and membership director. Way to go. She's just been very instrumental to helping us in a lot of different ways. As you'll hear, our membership has increased, actually almost by 10%. So here we are going through this crazy pandemic stuff, and Ariel is still out there helping us, all of these people together and keeping everything moving. And of course, Carol Walker. Carol Walker is our OSHA representative, and she's been our go-to person in a lot of different ways. So in our staff, they've been great. I also want to say thank you to our DOT staff that actually works in the building with us. Probably one of the best public-private partnerships in the state of New Mexico is ACNM and their affiliation with the DOT. So I want to say thank you to that team. They're here helping us with the office. They're in our meetings talking about what we're doing to make it a better training facility. So I want to thank you to the DOT staff as well. So here we go. We're going into 2021. What are we working on? We're doing a lot. We're expanding our training programs. We are making our membership a more valuable asset to our members that are coming on. They're going to be looking for work. We're going to make sure that they get the work. They're going to be looking for training. We're going to give them training, and we're going to give them great training. We're looking at different partnerships and affiliations out there, and I'm sure Mr. Fields will present that to you as well. So how are we going to do this? We're going to do this by doing the same thing that we do every day. We are going to come here. We're going to come here with passion, with urgency, and we're going to make sure that we're cooperating with everything that we need to do to cooperate to keep our industry moving. I mean, I remember we had in September the National Construction Safety Week, and we traveled around the state a little bit, and I was very impressed at the different construction sites and the different way that we were welcomed at these sites that we went to. So I can assure you that one of the things that you can expect in 2021 is for us to come to you, because your association, the Contractors of New Mexico, is going to be coming out to see you. We're going to visit you, and we want to hear what you have going on in your area. So there's a lot that we're going to be doing. I recognize all of our partners. We have so many people that come in here and volunteer their work to help our association be better. Thank you to the committee chairs for your time and your effort and your urgency. All of the things that you have done to tact and give us the ability to do the right thing and do it the right way. So on behalf of your Associated Contractors of New Mexico, I want to say thank you for allowing me to do this job. I love it. I am not afraid of the pandemic and what we're having to deal with. We're going to have to deal with a lot of neat things coming up. Legislation, we're going to have to talk about that. Congratulations October 1st to the President who signed in the FAST Act, a continuing resolution that keeps funding for $112 million coming back into New Mexico's coffers and funds. Thank you to Secretary Sandoval for releasing bonding money that's going to help us keep the lettings out and keep our industry working. So with that, sorry we're not here. We're not all together. I can't wait to give you guys some fist pumps, and eventually we're going to get to a handshake and maybe even a hug. But until then, I just want to say thank you all for attending. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your association.
Good afternoon, everybody. 2020 has been a crazy year. It's nothing what we expected, but I'm glad to report that as a contracting community, as ACNM, we've been able to weather the storm. We have been able to move into virtual training. You know, we had to pause training for a couple of months and then moved in, and we've done got with ATSA and done virtual training through TC supervisors. We've done virtual stormwater competent person training. We've been able to get the TTCP side back up and running with help from the state. So I think we've done well considering what's been up against us. Work still continues to flow. There's plenty of assessments coming in, plenty of work still out there. As I continue to see it running good throughout the end of the year, even into next year, talking with Secretary Sandoval. We've done a great job. Speaking of Secretary Sandoval, he's done a great job replenishing our relationship, keeping it going. I think we're moving in a great direction and we'll continue to for years to come. We've had an interesting year with the transition from Mr. Beck. We wish him the best in his retirement. We've been blessed to welcome aboard Mr. Jim Garcia, who's doing an excellent job. He has a lot to learn, but he knows a lot. He's been through a lot, and he brings a wealth of experience, and we can share our experiences with him as we move forward. We've had some successful golf tournaments, thanks to Ariel and everybody else that's helping things along. In addition to the successful golf tournaments, we also have a pull for the pack scheduled for December 4th, which I hope you all will attend. We've spent money well this year with the PAC, and hopefully we'll do some good at the legislature. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Legan also. He's done a wonderful job. We've been working hard for many years with the Workforce Development Group to change OGT and that how it relates to traffic control. He's done a wonderful job separating that out. So what was once impossible to create OJT for a traffic control technician supervisor is now where you can get multiple OJT qualifications out of one employee. So that's a great job. It's something great to report. I know workforce development, speaking of which, is big on everybody's mind. It's been a difficult thing to do with COVID. James Fields and I had great intentions starting the year out to really run through and hit some schools up, starting at elementary, going to middle school, hitting some of the out-of-town places up, some of the ranchers, and it just didn't work out that way with COVID, unfortunately, but we are still making headway. I'm working with AGC, New Mexico, the vertical guys, to try and reignite the BEF, which is a Building Education Foundation. So that's kind of just setting the foundation for some workforce development, and then we can team up together as AGC to figure out a way to train some of these guys and utilize our resources and theirs to further train some of our employees. We're actively searching for land. In order to do that, we need some room, we need more space here, we need more parking, we need more area to do some equipment training. Just throwing out a whole bunch of ideas to try and push us through to the future.
Good day to all of my ACNM friends and partners out there. Cabinet Secretary Mike Sandoval here from the Department of Transportation. Thank you for inviting me to submit a video to your annual meeting. Sure do miss getting together with all of you and meeting with you, talking with you, and having a few laughs during these types of things. But hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel with a couple vaccines now looking promising, and that next year we'll be able to actually meet in person. I wanted to also just mention again my congratulatory remarks to Mike Beck and his retirement. I know my last video was pretty windy. We did it outside after a golf tournament. I just wanted to recognize Mike Beck and let him know how much I appreciated our relationship and the work that we were able to accomplish over this last couple of years that I've been Cabinet Secretary. And also want to welcome aboard officially Mr. Garcia as the new Executive Director. Look forward to working with you and building that same relationship and having a productive time moving forward. There are a couple things I did want to mention during this video, just a couple updates. First of all, just to share with you part of our legislative package that I think will impact you the most. We will be asking for design build permission for New Mexico 31 intersection down there with New Mexico 128 and US 285. It's about a $100 million project. We're still getting the final numbers on that, but we do want to do a design build process. We do have authority for federally funded projects above 50 million, but since this looks like it could be 100% state funded, we wanted to make sure that we got permission for that. So we'll be going to the legislature to ask for that permission during this next session, whenever or however that happens. I also want to let you know that we are going to ask for bonding capacity authority. Right now, left in GRIP, we have about $234 million worth of capacity. Because interest rates are at an all-time low, a record low, if we were to sell those bonds, we think we'd get about $300 million in actual money that we could use for the program. We want to continue our momentum that we built. We received close to $600 million over the last couple of years. We think we've stabilized and really have a good construction program going, and we want to keep money coming in so that we can continue that at least for the next several years with this new money. So we think you'll be supportive. You all will be doing a lot of the work. I want to recognize you. One of the reasons that we think this is likely that we'll get this is because our legislators are happy with the progress we've made spending money and putting projects to work. So we want to continue that process, and we appreciate that. And the last thing is our construction management general contracting bill. We know that went through the House unanimously last year, went through Senate Corporations and Transportation, but got stuck in Senate Judiciary. So we'll be working again on that to hopefully get it past the finish line, and we appreciate ACNM's support and the help of Dan Silva and others to continue that process forward. And we hope to get that passed this next year. The second thing I wanted to give you an update on was the current status of pre-qualification. As you know, there was a public hearing about 30 days ago. ACNM was one of the ones that provided some valuable feedback. We want to go ahead and meet with you again, probably another couple times. There's still two issues that I think we can find some common ground on, which is going to push back the date of the final rule. So we're looking at possibly having another public hearing, finalizing that in February, getting our commission to vote on that in March, and then having a brand new pre-qual 2.0, if you want to call it, come in the April timeframe. But I think we weren't finished. We thought we had a pretty good rule, but based on some of your feedback, we want to work with you because I think there's still two areas, like I mentioned, where we can find some common ground and make that a little bit better. So those are the two major updates. Once again, thank you for having me. I want to wish you and all of your family a very happy holiday season. I know for many of us it'll be very different than we're used to. I know at my household it surely will be. We have a big family. I have 4 younger sisters. I'm one of 5 children. My wife is the youngest of 9, so she has 4 brothers and 4 sisters. During this time, we're very accustomed to having big family gatherings where we really enjoy each other's company now through Christmas, and we all know it's going to be very difficult to do that. So I wish you the best. I hope you find some way to enjoy your holidays with your closest family. I ask you that you stay safe, mask up, so that hopefully sooner rather than later we can get things back to some level of normalcy. So thanks again. I appreciate it, and have a good holiday season.
Howdy, my name's Bob Lanham, and I'm pleased to serve each and every one of you as the 2020 President of the Associated General Contractors of America. Thank you for your ability to be flexible, nimble, and adaptable. That allows us and allows you to continue to engage with AGC. And this is crucial because we've seen the power of engagement for much of the past year. Members like you from across the country engaged to make the case that construction is essential. And as a result, we kept building in most places during the early days of the pandemic when much of the rest of the country was ordered to shut down. Your engagement helped ensure that most construction firms were able to qualify for the Paycheck Protection Program loans. And your engagement helped clarify the confusing guidance that came out of the administration for this important program. And your engagement helped us secure a 1-year extension to the Federal Highway and Transit Program, along with the infusion of $10 billion extra dollars for that program. And finally, your engagement demonstrated to the nation that we can keep building while protecting our teams and our communities from the spread of the coronavirus. And we accomplished all of this while being prohibited from meeting face to face. We've accomplished a lot, but we can't be complacent. Much more needs to be done. As the nation recovers from the pandemic, we are working hard to make sure the construction industry will play a lead role in the rebuilding of our economy. But to do that, we're counting on each and every one of you to remain engaged. With the elections behind us, we'll be making the case that the best way to revive our economy is through the rebuilding of our country, particularly its infrastructure. We need to engage with the Congress to renew and significantly expand the Federal Highway and Transit Program. One thing we heard during the election, a clear message, is that Americans do not support an agenda that expands the reach of Washington, D.C. into our daily lives and into our businesses. And that's why we're going to continue to eliminate needless regulatory measures that do little to protect the environment or protect our workers, but do a lot to undermine productivity and prosperity. And we're going to continue to push for liability reforms to help protect companies that have put, like us, that have put into place coronavirus precautions, protect us from needless lawsuits. And another top priority is going to be to make sure we have the skilled workers necessary to rebuild our economy. We have a historic opportunity presented us. we can recruit the millions of qualified workers who've lost their jobs because of the pandemic into high-paying construction careers. That's why AGC of America is launching a new workforce recruitment effort called Construction is Essential. We want to remind workers that the careers in construction will be more stable and more secure than the jobs they previously held prior to the shutdown due to the pandemic. And we want to demonstrate that the work our industry does is the essential foundation to our economy, our security, and our quality of life. We can overcome the challenges we face as we work to recover and rebuild, but only if we all remain engaged with AGC. We've shown the country how to work safely. Now it's time for us to show the country how to reopen, rebuild, and revive.
Hi, I am Carol Walker, the Safety Compliance Specialist for ACNM, and I'm also the coordinator for the Heavy Highway Construction Safety Partnership. That partnership has been in operation for 12 years. For some of the older members, you might remember about 12 years ago, a handful of construction companies that were members of ACNM got together and they decided that they wanted to have a partnership with New Mexico OSHA. At the time, there were a few other partnerships already in operation, and they'd been there for a while, and ACNM thought it'd be best to bring one up too. The best thing about the ACNM partnership is in the very beginning, a couple of the companies, along with OSHA, I think it was Melissa Barker, for some of the folks that remember back that far, they were determined to make our partnership the best in the state. There were problems in some of the other partnerships, and they wanted to make sure that this one came out as high quality, efficient, and help companies improve as they went along. Okay, the good thing about the partnership, this partnership, is it is small. There are only 6 participating members at the time, but the way I look at it is they may be small, but they're also very mighty. They work all over the state, north, south, east, and west, and they've done very good at bringing their safety programs to New Mexico workers. It's also a peer-to-peer program. So everybody in this partnership, every company in this partnership has equal rights. Each one has 1 vote at the meeting, and they're all required to participate. And that is one of the important things, because in some of the partnerships, 1 company does all the work, or 2 companies do all the work, and then the other companies benefit. So in this partnership, all 6 of them participate in a very good way. They are dedicated to improving the safety and health within the partnership and for New Mexico workforce. So it doesn't just stay with our partnership. The safety and health philosophy that they have is that our safety and health should be shared. There's 4 myths that I found seem to be circulating about our partnership, and I wanted to clear a few of them up today, so I wrote them on the board. And the first one is only participating members can attend our meetings, and that's definitely false. You know, while we encourage all of our members to become part of the partnership and become active partnership participants, we do encourage other companies to attend. And right now we have Dino Franco from AUI that attends frequently and contributes, and we also have Joseph from Hamilton. You know, their participation, even though they're not members, is very welcomed because we want to spread the news. We want to spread safety and health. As much as we'd like them to become members, we are just very excited that they still attend the meetings. The second myth is only perfect companies can join. And that's not true, because if all of these companies were perfect, we wouldn't need the partnership. So the whole idea of the partnership is to develop companies, share ideas. Number 3, some people seem to think that partnerships may be a waste of time. Well, I'm here to say that our Heavy Highway Construction Safety Partnership is made up of some of the most qualified, experienced, and knowledgeable safety professionals in the state of New Mexico. It can't be a waste of time for those types of people to sit down and look at what's going on in the state and try to give each other a helping hand. And that's exactly what they do at our monthly meetings. They solve problems, not only for our partnership members and for the people who come, But we've even had OSHA come and ask us, how can we fix this? What can we do? So the information gets shared back to OSHA. And in turn, New Mexico OSHA shares their information with us. And I think many of you are familiar with Jay Stimmel. Sometimes there's an awful lot of information that comes from that end. But if you cut through the chase and you realize the hard work that he's putting into it, you'll recognize the fact that he has saved many of our companies time and trouble, energy, and he works hard to keep us out of trouble. We support that open communication with our open representative, and one of the best examples that I can give is these COVID-19 lists that are on the Department of Health website. I think you might be familiar with them. Some of them you may not recognize. But you know, after a company has 4 positive COVID cases, within a 7-day period, they can land on this little list. And it's identified as the shame list, although, you know, we can call it a number of different things. It's actually a shame list. The problem with that list is your company's name can be put on there by mistake, or it may not be removed when the time to remove it is needed. So Jay has worked hard to make sure that that list is accurate, correct, and he tries to keep our companies off that list. So if you're part of the partnership and you report your positive cases to Jay, he has different forms that he'll fill out, and he will support our companies 100% every step of the way. Also, one of the biggest accomplishments that we've had over the years is that darn DART rate, days away restricted and transferred rate. All of our companies are at or below the national BLS average, which I think is a great improvement. In the past, we've had to use alternative calculations to qualify companies, and right now, they've all met it, and they've met them for the last couple of years. That is proof positive that our safety and health programs, ideas, and philosophies are effective. They are working. Okay, the fourth one and the final one is HHCSP is the best partnership in New Mexico. And I'll tell you what, that is not a myth. That is absolutely accurate. You can talk to a number of different people and you'll find that we still hold meetings, we still discuss COVID, we still support each other. And where some of the other partnerships are falling down in their meetings and their information and their sharing, we are still holding firm. And I even talked to some of the 6, I call it the powerful 6, and we thought, well, maybe we'll just cut out some meetings, maybe we'll do something different. And what we have chosen to do is we have webinars, web meetings, web-based meetings. We can call in, and you can also attend with 6-foot distancing and wearing masks. We have not given up. We're staying on top of it, and the best thing that we could do right now is get more members. But I believe, and I have been told, that we are the best partnership in New Mexico. So if you want to be part of the best, you need to talk to some of our members and get more involved. So with that over, I'd like to say that we have 6 companies that are active participants. 2 of them are at the platinum level. We will be presenting plaques. They're in the process right now. The certificates are being signed. They're in Santa Fe. They get signed by the New Mexico OSHA Bureau Chief, and then they also get signed by our organization. That's in the process, so I can't present those right now, but I would like to announce the companies that have qualified to stay in the program. So we have 2 platinum companies. First one is F&F Construction. Jake Salazar is the safety representative that attends our meeting. It's a wonderful company. They've been very instrumental in keeping the quality of the program going. Jake is also our chairman, has been for 2 years, volunteered to stay on for next year, so I'm very proud of that company. Mountain States is also at the platinum level. They're our oldest platinum level company. They've been at that level for a while. Jaime Castile is their safety person. Wonderful guy, shares information, lots of great swag, and he's usually at the meetings, although lately it's been a little crazy. So we have one company that is at the gold level, that's Fisher Sand and Gravel. Brian Gambrell worked very, very hard to bring that company up to the gold level, and I think he has plans to take them to platinum as soon as all of this other stuff with COVID and everything kind of dies down a bit. But Brian Gambrell has done a great job keeping that company and moving them up as he can. We have 3 companies that are now at the silver level, and the first one is Bixby. Right now I'm not sure if they have an official safety person in place. I believe they are interviewing, but Brian Pollock and Melissa Young have been representing the company, and they will be at the silver level. We'll have their plaque ready for them. Constructors, Inc., way down south, Tammy Mandel. She is very good to call in, stay on top of it. The best thing about Tammy is she shares some of the lessons learned, things that happen on their site, which brings a lot of good information to the table. So we'd like to thank Tammy for her active involvement. And then we have Hassey Contracting, which is Sam Soto. He's been with the company for a couple of years. He's a great safety guy, and he's working hard to keep Bixby going at the silver level. So those are the 6 companies. We are very proud of their involvement, and we hope that it continues to go that way. I also have a special recognition award, and this one is completed. So if you happen to run into Jake Salazar, I have this plaque ready. It's been signed and it's ready to go. And if not, I can take it out to his site out in Bernalillo. But basically, Jake has been our chairman for HHCSP for the last year and some. He's always making himself available to answer questions, to solve problems. And if I get in a bind and I can't get an on-site verification visit going with one of our members, Jake usually works it out. He's been great, just great to support this program. So I have this award, and it basically says, in appreciation of your leadership, commitment, and time to the safety goals and principles of the Heavy Highway Construction Safety Partnership. This is ready for Jake when he shows up to get it. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. I hope if you have any questions, you can get a hold of me. I'm at the office quite frequently. You can call me on my mobile phone. I get calls on Saturday and Sunday, although I'm surprised that I do, but I'm always happy to help and give information. So let me know if you need anything. And if you happen to run into one of our 6 companies, please shake their hands and thank them for all of the good that they've done. Thank you, and keep yourself safe and your workers out of the hospitals. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Jay Stimmel. I work for New Mexico OSHA. I'm a compliance assistance specialist. One of my responsibilities is to work with the partnerships that represent some of the biggest companies, construction companies in the state of New Mexico. And the Heavy Highway Equipment Partnership is one near and dear to my heart because it is the best of the 6 partnerships we have. Because there's certain things why it's so good. It's because of the sharing. Companies that are intense competitors out in job bidding cooperate with each other in safety. And that cooperation is what makes this partnership so worthwhile and so valuable. There's problems brought there, there's solutions coming, people share lessons learned, and they go on and on with that. And it's been very successful. And the best thing is, back at the end of last year, a person from another partnership, a safety professional, said 2020, best year ever. Well, this hasn't been the best year ever. It's been a very tough year. Yet this partnership has continued the closest to normal of any of the partnerships. They meet on a regular basis so they can continue to share. They've done inspections so we can verify our verification visits to make sure people are doing things right. And we've done more inspections on them than any other partnership. The only downside of this is the smallest partnership. And I'd like to see them expand and get bigger and better and share with more people, and so that we can spread that safety. Safety is a culture, and these people seem to have it down, and I'm very proud to work with them. And I love my job because of companies like this and the Heavy Highway Equipment Partnership. So take care, everybody, and be safe.
Good afternoon, Associated Contractor of New Mexico members. I want to give you a quick update for our 2020 annual reports on safety, workforce development, and training. The safety meetings that we have every other month, the even months, We've had pretty good attendance in February before COVID hit, and then everything just kind of fell off the table. The participation is usually between 20 and 25 people, all in the classroom here. And you can see that February we were close to our normal, and then everything fell off. In April, we tried to do an online, just checking in with everybody, and that seemed to work. And what we've done the last 3 meetings is both a blended classroom and online participation, and it's worked very well. So people that don't feel comfortable coming into the building, they don't have to. They can still participate with the safety meetings very effectively. We've had some very good meetings. I want to first of all say thank you to Mr. Sam Soto Jr. with HASI Contracting. He's been our safety committee chairperson this year. He's agreed to stay on 1 more year, so we look forward to Sam's leadership for 2021. Some of the topics we had this year, we had hard hat safety from J.W. Warwick. We had Dino Franco with AUI, gave a talk on the safety software that they use at AUI. Very effective, a lot of very positive feedback from that. We then in August had a demonstration from Jay English with Technical Industrial Athlete, and they talked about computer body movement demonstrations and how to stretch the body to eliminate or even reduce injuries on the job. And then I did last month a segment on construction and suicide and the numbers that are just outrageous when it comes to suicide and our industry. Our workforce development, you can see our committee members here. Dave Otowski, James Fields is our board liaison, and then some of the other folks that make up of our committee, our advisory committee made up of DOT and Federal Highway. So I say thank you to these folks. The numbers we had for this year were very, very good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 contractors that were required to have OJT trainees this year. Everyone is going to hit 100% except for 1 contractor. They fell into some trainees that did not stick around, resigned, left their organization, and they've had a difficult time finding folks. But everybody else will hit their mark by the end of this year. So very, very positive for our workforce development program. A breakdown of the workforce development, you can see we have anywhere from carpenters, laborers, equipment operators, and truck drivers. So I'm always interested to see what people participated in as far as OJT in that year, and we've had good numbers. Again, if someone is in a particular segment or organization and they resign or leave, that's really hard on that particular company. Our requirements for next year, let me blow that up a little bit. You can see for 2021, our $40 to $70 million, 3 trainee required, F&F Construction, Fisher Sand and Gravel. 2 trainees required in the $25 million to $40 million. We have constructors, El Torero Construction, Mountain States Construction, Northern Mountain, and then the $10 million to $25 million, 1 trainee, one of our new members, Albuquerque Asphalt, AUI, HASI Contracting, JH Supply, which are not members of the association, and Chemo Construction. So I look forward to working with each one of these companies next year for 2021. Some of our training numbers for 2020. We started off with an incredibly good first quarter. January, February, and March were fantastic, and we were on par with last year, which was our biggest year ever. Our first quarter, we had 516 student participants in those 3 months. And then you can see what happened in the second quarter when COVID hit. It just fell off the table. We literally, in 3 months, only had 84 student contacts. We've had that in a single week before. So 84 for an entire quarter. And then once things opened up in late June, early July, we were ramping back up for more training. And so our numbers picked up, and now we've gone back into another lull, another shutdown or tightening. And you can see that our last quarter is going to be very, very small. Let me blow this up. We do have 3 new classes we've added this year: accident investigation. We had our air emissions inventory training, and a brand new one, scaffold competent person training, which we're very pleased to be able to put out there. Let me blow this up a little bit. You can see from 17, 2018, 2019, 2020, and I've included the UTA OSHA numbers. We had a big year last year, and this year we're going to have just about half of that. So very, very small 2020. And then our OSHA revenue also was right around 35 to 40,000. This year it's going to be just less than $13,000 of revenue that we get from University of Texas Arlington OSHA programs that we host here in our facility. So with that, let's have a very, very good 2021. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Lorianne Ortiz, and I am one of 3 instructors for the New Mexico Technical Training and Certification Program, also known as TTCP. This year, TTCP has completed an estimated 1,110 student contacts. In the first quarter of the year, TTCP had 338 trainees. In the second quarter, 127 trainees. In the third quarter, 321 trainees. In the last quarter, we are estimating 324 trainees at this time. This translates into more than 15,000 training hours. NMDOT employees contribute to 63% of those trainees, 24% coming from private testing labs, 11% are contractor employees, and 2% of the trainees come from other government agencies such as cities and counties. 2020 presented us all with new challenges to face. As an instructor, with every effort in keeping each and every one of you and our staff safe, we have taken on those challenges with pride and still managed to have a safe and productive year. TTCP looks forward to a safe and good productive 2021 while still maintaining all safety precautions. In closing, TTCP would like to thank each and every one of you and wish you and your family a safe and wonderful holiday season.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Beck. Hope everybody's doing well. Just wanted to take a few minutes and spend some time thanking you all for all the wonderful things that you've done for me in the last few years, and the time that I spent here at ACNM was probably the most enjoyable of my career. Hold on one second. Retirement has its privileges. This has been the most rewarding job that I've ever had in my 44-year career, and I want to thank you all for allowing me to close out my career in such a wonderful way. I want to thank the staff here at ACNM for all the hard work that they've done for me over the years, the wonderful things that they've accomplished on behalf of our membership. We've got a tremendous staff here that will continue to operate well into the next tenure of your new exec. And speaking of your new exec, Jim Garcia is one of those guys that has a bundle of energy, and he's going to take this thing even further than you can imagine. I look forward to the things that Jim will continue to do to help ACNM to prosper and to move ahead. Jim's the right guy for the job, and I'll be here to support in any way that I can. If I can do anything for Jim or the staff or any of the members, I want to stay involved and engaged and be a part of this operation for a long time. Also want to thank the board of directors that I was able to work with over the 9 years that I was here. And the last board of directors that I worked for was gracious enough to bestow lifetime membership for me to stay a part of this organization that has meant so much to me throughout my career. So I appreciate that. I look forward to seeing you all at upcoming events when they open up again, when we get through the other side of this COVID issue that we're dealing with. Look forward to seeing everybody and being able to relax and enjoy things from the other side moving forward. So once again, thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. I look forward to working with everyone in the future from my retirement phase. So thank you. Take care.
Hi, my name is Paul Miller. I'm the chairman of the Associate Member Advisory Council for ACNM. AMAC, as we call it. AMAC is a committee of just associate members, and all associate members are welcome to join our committee. Our opportunity is to give an opportunity for our membership to share their knowledge, expertise, and what they can do to help our contractor members of ACNM. We meet about 5 or 6 times a year. We do lunch and learns to try and share our information, and we were only able to have one this year. Bobby Hayes with Car Rigs and Ingram did a real nice pay protection program lunch and learn for us. We have some thoughts for next year to do some things on maybe seating and landscaping, dust control, and some intelligent compaction. We usually try and do a fun activity. Year before last, we had the tailgate party. So those are the kind of things that we do. Again, everybody's welcome to join us. I want to thank you for your time here today. I wish you all very, very well, and your families well this year through these difficult times, and a very good holiday season and good success in the upcoming year. And again, if you want to join our group, all associate members are welcome to join us, and just get with me or Ariel, and we'll go forward from there. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Hello everyone, my name is Frank Lozano. I'm the chairman of the Construction Leadership Council for ACNM. I wanted to give an update for the progress of Construction Leadership Council for the year 2020. This year we were looking forward to and had big plans for building on the successes of the past. Unfortunately, much like the rest of the world, our plans were thwarted by COVID-19. Out of an abundance of caution, the CLC decided to cancel all community service activities. The CLC plans to begin community service projects as soon as it is safe for all of our members and the entities that benefit from our work. The annual CLC golf tournament was held at the Canyon Club on September 28th. Although some accommodations had to be made to stay in compliance with COVID-19 regulations, the overall feedback that we received was positive, and best of all, we were able to raise $8,000 for New Mexico Appleseed and LifeQuest charities. We look forward to next year's tournament and are open to any charity fundraising ideas that would benefit the community. A special thanks goes out to all of the companies, owners, employees who donated their time and money to benefit the state of New Mexico. Without you, none of this would have been possible. And like I said before, we look forward to continuing and our work and making progress on what we built in the past. And in 2021, thank you very much.
Good afternoon and welcome. I can promise you a newsacre personality I'm not. Glad Ariel has lots of patience putting this video together, because I'm not very good at this stuff. Looking forward to working with the members and associates of this great association, building on a legacy of an association that all started with a handshake between contractors and engineers in the state many years ago. The vision was to find a way to create jobs, work, and find a way to come together and make this happen. That was in 1933. Well, some things still are the same, and this time I would like to thank Secretary Sandoval and the New Mexico Department of Transportation for a big effort on keeping the relationship strong. A few big items to talk about is the current presence and the future training programs ACNM is looking to bring to its memberships and the Department of Transportation, both at the state and federal level. The University of Texas Arlington is currently using the ACNM facility as a host to do OSHA training classes, which expand into late 2021. ACNM has a very positive relationship with ATSA, with being able to do traffic control supervisor through online as well as stormwater training online. Both seem to also be doing well, and people are very satisfied with the online classes. Doing all of the traffic control, ACNM is also doing all of the traffic control for cities and counties in conjunction with LTAP, Local Technical Assistance Program. Rick Murray from the National Safety Council has reached out to ACNM, and we are in discussion of trying to expand our training programs to include NSC classes. We'd like to thank Mr. Legan for all his hard work and efforts in putting this stuff together. The other big topic is the membership committee, with all the crazy stuff going on in the world and in the state and what have you. They managed to gather up 9 new associate members and 5 new contractor members, and we'd like to welcome them to the ACNM family. Associate members: Merchants Bonding, Rinker Materials, Century Bank, JPR Gravel, Utility Travel Interstate, Elevate PHW, Equipment Share, RBC Wealth Management, and McAferry. Contractor members: General Hydronics, Sandy Jones Construction, Coke Construction, Star Paving, and Albuquerque Asphalt. So when you see these folks, welcome aboard. Lastly, I'd like to thank Patrick Shaw for all his help and hard work, mainly for putting up with me. I want to thank Mr. Jim Garcia. I want to welcome Mr. Jim Garcia as the new Executive Director. You'll find out what all Patrick had to put up with last year. Then we'd like to wish Mr. Beck the best of luck in his next adventure. Thank you, sir, for all the knowledge, help, and support. Thank you.
Okay, so as we wrap up and get ready, I just want to say thank you all for a wonderful year. It's been a great 6 months for me. I really appreciate the position. I want to say thank you to everybody that has been helped us. Special shout out to our sponsors, Western Technologies, Sauter and Associates, Holly Frontier, and of course, Menicucci Insurance. Thank you for your sponsorships, and thank you for all that you've done to help us this year. We're looking forward to a 2021. Believe it or not, we are. We think we're in a good position. We have a lot to do, a lot of work still to do, and we hope you all have a good and safe year as well. So with that, thank you all very much. Hope you have a good evening.